Welcome back, everybody, to Three in the Key here on the Parlay. I'm your host, Luca, alongside my co-host, Noor. And on this week's show, we got a very special guest, Karina, making her Three in the Key debut. Karina, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm very excited to be here.
Well, we talk all things basketball on this show as it pertains to sports betting, and we got another action-packed show. A lot of great questions to get to, and we're going to do this around the horn style. So first question I want to get into and talk about is the race in the East. So right now, many people feel that it is a two-team race in the East between the Nets and the Bucks. Do you agree with this? And who would you say is the favorite to get on out? Nora, we'll start with you.
Ooh, just throw right at me. I think I'm gonna go with the Nets, honestly, and it might not be a sexy choice right now. Might not be a popular one, but I think what we saw last year from the Nets was kind of promising, right? They did not have Kyrie Irving. They had Harden, who was in and out, but eventually they were still able to bring it down to the point where all it came down to was KD's toe. KD's toe is the reason why they weren't in the finals. And you still had a Bucks team that was super healthy, that made it all the way through, and that beat the Suns afterwards. But I think if I'm going to put the Bucks and the Nets on paper right now, I just look at the Nets roster. I see who they have. It's very hard to put that star-studded lineup past anybody else. And I think they're still going to be able to figure it out. They still haven't had the gelling that they needed to. And the whole year ahead of them in the regular season, they can get together what they need to for the playoffs coming up. And I don't know, might even get Kyrie Irving back. What if you get Kyrie Irving back, you guys? Then what? What about you, Karina?
That's so funny. That seems like a very low chance of that happening, but I'm still going to side with you. I will say the Nets. And honestly, another point is that they just seem to be the healthier team right now. Like 25% of the NBA, we've all seen it, is either injured or whatever it is that they're out. And so, as we know, the Bucks have been struggling with some injuries. And like you said, the Nets just have that stacked power team. And for the rest of December, they have a pretty easy schedule with games against the Rockets, the Hawks, the Pistons. And so I do want to go with the Nets. I don't want to sleep on the defending champions. I do want to say that, just as a disclaimer. But yeah, I think I'm going to give the edge to the Nets right now.
Said this is my pick at the start of the season, so I don't want to change it. The Kyrie Irving stuff does make it interesting, but I think all in all, I don't see him coming back to this team. If anything, I could see him get traded at this point, but I still do like Kevin Durant and James Harden's chances of getting out of the East with those two guys, playing at a high level. Obviously, Harden has to pick up his slack. He's been a little bit off his game, but if those two are playing at a high level, you have the supporting cast there, guys like Joe Harris, they got to come in and know their role and make big shots when they need to. I do have this Nets team coming out. The one point I will make, though, for the Bucks is that they're still undefeated this season once they're healthy, when, Giannis, Middleton, and Jrue Holiday are all playing. So don't sleep on the Bucks. I feel like a lot of people have been so, impressed with teams like the Nets and even the Bulls, who have come out of nowhere, that we tend to forget this is the defending champs. And this is a team that, when healthy, they're one of the best teams in all of the NBA. So I think it will come down to these two teams. I expect both these teams to meet in the Eastern Conference Finals, a rematch of last year's second round playoff series. And boy, would that be a treat for us NBA fans.